Shalom, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem HaKadosh, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who are the true leaders of Israel today, and salutations to all of the Akim who do this work in truth and sincerity, who risk their lives and their freedoms to do so, as well as the scattered Israelites who come looking like the heathen but are not, by way of their forefathers' seeds who are Israelite men. The true name of the Most High is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahushai, and the Lord's holy chosen people are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as we're the ones who are suffering under the curses in the book of Deuteronomy. My name is Akalio, and something's in the air, man. And that something that's in the air is the end of the wicked. And the wicked are the Edomites. And the Edomites are the so-called white people. And they're the ones who are currently in rulership right now. And their kingdom is collapsing, man. It's coming to its end. It's over for them. All right. They're in their blessing right now, given unto them by our forefather Isaac, that Esau's living through. The fatness of the earth, the dew of heaven, and by the sword will he rule. So he does have complete and utter rulership of the earth right now. But that is all coming to an end. All right. And you know, there's something that the wicked elite of Esau Edom have Trump doing, because we know what's going on, right? So we have an understanding that Esau's in rulership, and of those in rulership, or the Edomites, there is a ruling class. Every nation that is in rulership has a ruling class, and their ruling class are the elite bankers, the wicked elite of Esau, Edom, all right, the Rothschilds and those individuals, all right. So they're the ones who are pulling the strings of the actions of the leaders of these different countries. Job chapter 9 and verse 24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. So Esau's in his blessing. And right now what's going on is that they are pushing forward with their agenda, heading towards the mark of the beast prophecy, which is the microchip. So Trump is one of their puppets that have been set up, and there's something that he's been doing that I've noticed recently. Well, not noticed recently, but because he's literally doing it, but more, however to say it. But just the other day, right, he was talking about the world's most powerful reset, right? That was 10 days ago. He was talking about that. Okay, talking about the world's powerful reset. And then 14 hours ago, and now the end is near. Trump warns lots of bombs will go off if no deal. Iranian ship seized. So Trump has this kind of the end is near, the reset is coming type of spirit, right? Which to me, just speaking as a man, to me, with some understanding of how the wicked elite of Esau Edom operates, I think it has something to do with their perhaps witchcraft and sorcery on the left hand side, where they are in fact declaring what they are literally doing right now, which is to bring about a powerful reset, which that powerful reset is going to come in the form of a powerful reset in terms of the monetary system, where they're going to do away with the cash and they're going to push forward with a digital monetary system, which they've been setting up for years now. And they're going to do that reset with the crash of the economy, the crash of the US dollar, and moving towards the new digital payment system, which is all about ushering in the microchip, which is the mark of the beast, because the microchip is a digital device that makes digital payments, and it will be the mode of payment. In order to make payments, it will be required. Okay, so there's no need for cash because it's all going to be made digitally. Okay, so they're going to be resetting that, plus just in general as well, their whole agenda at time, the NWO, these digital prisons that they're building for the people, which are these 15-minute cities, these smart cities, and everything else that comes along with it, right? So then Trump is talking about the end is near, talking about this thing. But let's listen to what Dabu has to say about this. And that's the person whose video this is, Dabu77.
This is Dabu7. We've got Trump launching more threats now in some kind of cryptic here, as he's saying he's not going to extend this offer for peace or for talks any longer and that bombs are going to fly, it's highly unlikely that the U.S. will extend this ceasefire. They've sent the Marines in now. They've landed on a ship. They give it warnings. And after they give it a warning, get away from the engine hall.
The thing is that the Lord has given us the privilege to understand Bible prophecy. We've been bestowed with this wisdom, and we know that when Trump is speaking like this, we understand prophecy. So that's like whatever, because before any kind of high level escalation can occur that would lead to the war of Armageddon, not to say that something, to something against them, but I'm talking about when it escalates to the war of Armageddon, where there is a true end, right, which is the end of their rulership. Because once it is that Yahweh Shemishai releases a microchip, which is a mark of the beast, that prophecy is fulfilled, then can the war of Armageddon take place, where then at the end of it, America and the state of Israel loses the war over there in Western Asia, the so-called Middle East, as it pertains to Joel chapter 2 and verse 20, right? It also lets us know that they shall make their habitation desolate with them, when it says the least of the flock shall draw them out. And then they're going to lose that war against their enemies, Russia, Iran, etc. And then at the end of once they lose, boom, the missiles are shot. All right. So any kind of escalation towards where it's like, when it reaches to that point, it's not going to reach that point until the mark of the beast is fulfilled, that prophecy. Okay. So when we hear about all these things, we understand what's going on, but also it had me thinking that, boy, in Isaiah 19, right? Isaiah 19, which it's talking about Egypt, right? But we know it's not talking about Egypt over there in Africa right now. We know it's talking about Egypt as in America, which is Babylon the Great, which America is, as it says in Revelation chapter 11 and verse 8, and their dead body shall lie in the street of the great city, which is Babylon the Great, America, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. So America takes on to the spirit of Sodom and Egypt, talking about ancient Egypt. Okay, so here, Isaiah 19 is, when it's talking about Egypt, it's actually talking about America. And here it is, the Isaiah 19 and verse 4, and the Egyptians, talking about the Americans, will I give over into the hand of a cruel lord, and with a fierce king shall rule, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts. So that's what Trump is, man. The way that you can see how he is acting, right? You can see that he's that cruel lord, man, and he's that cruel lord that is going to bring America towards its perdition, right? Destroying the relationship between its current allies, which is Bible prophecy to happen, where we know that America's allies are going to turn against America and destroy America with the missiles, right? The 10 horns and the beast shall hate the whore, right? And burn her with fire. Okay, so we know based off of that there is going to be a deterioration of the relationship between America and its allies. And Trump has been that main person to bring about the fracturing of that relationship with the way how he has been interacting with them. All right. So then just all of the other things that Trump has been doing with the threats, the tariffs, just everything about it, right? His whole persona on display, right? It is that cruel Lord, all right? And that cruel Lord is going to bring, appear to be the one to cause, the famine to come in and all these kinds of things. That people will blame him, but it's not him at all. It's, the wicked elite of Esau, Edom, giving him his instructions as to how he's supposed to go about these things. But ultimately, it's really Yahweh Shemishai that is moving forward with Bible prophecy and using these different characters as tools to bring it about, right?
Get away from the engine hall. They shot it. They're doing this left and right now. They've put up a blockade across the Straits of Hormuz. The U.S. has. So the U.S. now has their warships strung across it, not letting anything come through. If someone tries, they're going to do like they just did with the ship you see on the left by giving it a warning and then hitting it. And they're saying it's no more Mr. Nice Guy. that the bombs are going to fly at this point. Lots of bombs will go off if there's no deal, is Trump's exact words. We know there's not a whole lot left in terms of targets. You have the power plants, you have the water desalination plants. All of these things will.
Yeah, I was talking to an individual that's in the world about the logistics of this war and whatever else, and I learned that, you know, I didn't read too much before, so I did gain a bit of knowledge that, like over there in Western Asia, the so-called Middle East, that, it's all desert, right? You look at the world map, it's desert. So the way how they get their water is these desalination plants, right? And if those plants are destroyed, the people in the so-called Middle East, they will be complete. It will be a devastating situation if those plants um are destroyed regarding the water supply. Okay, so there are some other things that were spoken about, but he just mentioned the plants, and it's true, right? And Iran also does not care about the so-called Middle Eastern countries. People will look at them and say, oh, they're like of the same kind, but they're not. The Iranian people, they are the biblical Elamites. They are actually the same people as the East Indian, the people in India. They are all Elamites, right? They are a different nation to the so-called Arabs in the so-called Middle East, which the Arabs are the Ishmaelites. So they have no remorse. Because I was like, wait a second, why? I remember thinking like, oh, why are they then attacking these countries in the so-called Middle East? You know what I mean? To establish their dominance, with this whole America thing. And I was like, wait, but then I remember that, oh, wait, hold on a second. These are different nations of people. So Iran has no problem with the Ishmaelite people over there in the Western Asia to suffer. They don't care. They're not their people. All right? And this entire thing, man, the end is near. Whatever could possibly come from this will just simply accelerate us into the famine and into the judgments, right? And into the monetary collapse. And that's what is happening right now, moving towards that. There won't be any big all blown out war, not yet. It's not time for that as yet, because that full blown out war will lead to the missiles being launched towards America, and that can't happen until the microchip. And I'm gonna keep mentioning that microchip, man, because that is literally the next big prophecy to come to pass. All right, and once that comes to pass, Yahushai, look up. Okay?
Affect the people, the civilian population, big time. He doesn't seem to care about none of it. And he dropped this cryptic tweet or post saying that the end is near. And it's basically a little musical Frank Sinatra singing and performing, the final curtain call. And
Yeah, there's this very weird spirit that Trump has on him. Trump's cryptic, the end is near post sends internet into a frenzy, right? So he posted the end is near, but let me tell y'all something, okay? The end is near indeed, but the end is near for the wicked, right? The so-called white man, the end is near for you. Your kingdom is coming to its end, right? In Job chapter 14 and verse 5, it says, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee, thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. So your kingdom is set for an expiration date, right? To expire. So that expiration date is coming up. All right. So yes, the end is near for you Edomites, man. All right. The end is near as well for the end of our captivity, the Israelites, the Lord's holy chosen people. And then the beginning is coming of our eternal bliss and happiness, the kingdom of heaven. All right. So yeah, the end is near, man, for Esau. As the scriptures say in 2 Ezra 6 and verse 7, then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So Esau is the end of the world, talking about the end of an age. a period of time, which is talking about Esau is the end of the world, as in Esau, his era is coming to an end. All right, which is his rulership. So yeah, the end is near, man. And so knowing that the end is near, right? What do we know? All right, as the scriptures say in Second Peter chapter 3 and verse 10, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness, right? Because everything's going to be burnt up, man. The works of this world are going to be burnt up completely. That is going to be the true reset. When Yahushua returns and sets up the kingdom of heaven. This world and it's a complete reset. The law, statutes, and commandments are going to be established. As it is done in heaven, it shall be done on earth, right? So it's just going to be a completely different way of living. A complete opposite. Because right now the wicked are in rulership and the wicked rule wickedly. Okay? But the righteous are coming into authority soon. And all the works of this world, man, is going to be done away with, flattened, burnt up, everything. It's just going to be a complete change in how life operates. And I look forward to it, man. All right, looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of the Lord, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness, right? And that is what is coming, man. That is the true great reset, right? That is the true, well, the end is near, but regarding the reset, man, because, you know, he spoke about that reset several days ago. And I didn't speak on that topic too at the time. I seen it though. But the Spirit didn't have me speak upon it at that time, but now the Spirit has been talking about it. All right, so that's just how it works out. Okay, but the message is clear as well. Don't take the microchip because it's the mark of the beast. The message is for the Israelites. Repent ye, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand, and our salvation is nearer than when we believed. All right, so rejoice. With that, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim HaKadosh, Shalom.